Yevamos. You had 5 brothers, 3 sisters. They're married. They're married to 3 brothers. The 3 brothers die. Now 3 sisters fall before two surviving brothers. The Shnei Yevamim. You following? Norman. Okay? Shnei Yevamim. Zeh choletz lachas. Zeh choletz lachas. Each one gives chalitza to one. Now, them tzois, tzi chalitza b'shneim. So Rashi says the word emtzois doesn't mean the middle one. It means the last one, both of them have to give chalitza. So the Gemara is going to ask a question, Manav Shach. All 3 fell, right? So now all 3 are connected to every one of them. So if we say, this is all rabbinical. This is rabbinical. On a Torah level, it's enough, you give chalitza and it's over. One gives chalitza, one can give chalitza to all 3, right? But rabbinically, if you hold yesh zika, if you say that the connection is almost equivalent of marriage, rabbinically, so therefore it's what? It's achos chalutzoso. It's the sister of his chalutza, right? If she's connected, that means you have 2 sisters connected. So as a result of that, the chalitza, when is a chalitza on a rabbinic level considered forceful, sufficient to totally sever it? That's only if you could do yibum. If you could do yibum, you choose to sever it. But what about if you can't do yibum? Right? Because rabbinically, you can't do yibum because if you hold yesh zika, you have 2 sisters connected to you. 2 sisters, we see like you can't marry 2 sisters. So rabbinically, we don't let you do chalit yibum. So this context here, you can't do yibum. Rabbinically, that's called. So when you give chalitza, the chalitza is called chalitza psula. It's not a bona fide chalitza rabbinically. So both brothers, to make it final, both brothers have to give chalitza to the same woman. Okay? To the same women. To same. No, we're their sisters. We're their sisters. So that's going to be the Gemara's question. That's Gemara's question. If you have 3, and we're saying the first 2, each brother give, and that's enough. Come to the 3rd, they both have to give. So the Gemara is going to ask, why? But if you're telling me for the first 2, each one to give individually, and the chalitza is enough to sever the relationship she should be able to marry, so why, when we come to the 3rd one, why do they both have to give chalitza? Right? If the chalitza of the surviving brother is sufficient to sever the relationship, she should be able to remarry, why do we differentiate between the first 2 and the last one? It should be the same thing. Right? That's going to be the Gemara's question. Okay, let's read inside. Tzri chalitza b'shneim. Omalei Rabbo. So Rabbi says, Midkamrit emtzos tzricha chalitza b'shneim. If you tell me the 3rd one needs chalitza from both, kasavrit, yezika, evidently it must be because there is a connection. So it's like we're talking about, it's achos chalutzoso. It's like achos ishto. Okay? So therefore, we don't see the chalitza rabbinically as strong enough to sever the connection. Therefore, we need both of them to sever it. Chalitza psula. So we classify it as a chalitza. So Rashi, the word psula doesn't mean psula. It means grua. It's a deficient chalitza. The word psula means deficient. V'chalitza psula tzarich laso kol ha'achin. So because it's deficient, therefore you need all the brothers to participate. In combination, it severs it. In combination, right? So Mar says, Ihochi. So if you're telling me if they're connected, it's not rabbinically, we don't see it as a force. Ihochi kamaisa nami. So why the first one? We should say the same one, right? So Mar says like this. If, let's say, the 3 brothers died and the 2 brothers did nothing up to that point, you're right. The first one also needs chalitza from all 3, from the 2. Well, yeah, let's say Reuven, Shimon, Levi died, his wives fall to both. Each one of the women need chalitza from both brothers. What are we speaking about? Reuven dies, his wife falls, right? So the connection is to how many sisters? Just one. The man gives chalitza. Shimon dies. Give chalitza. Now when Levi dies, now you have so now the 3rd woman is what? Achos chalutzoso. Because each one already gave chalitza to what? To Reuven's wife and Shimon's wife. So therefore, since rabbinically achos chalutzoso, we see like achos ishto, we can't do yibum. Therefore, that's the reason why jointly they both have to do chalitza. That's the Mar's answer, okay? If they would have all brothers died, nothing was happened, and you have 3 widows that need chalitza, then every brother has to participate in what? In the chalitza. Lo tzricha de nafel b'zeh. Yeah, they died one following the other, and as they died, what happened? Zach azeh nafel chad choletz lo Ruvain. Ruvain dies, right? Or the first brother dies, Ruvain does chalitza. Nafel idoch choletz lo Shimon. So when Shimon gave chalitza, is it achos chalutza also? For Ruvain, it would be what? It's the sister of his chalutza. But if Shimon didn't do any chalitza, what is it? It's just the sister-in-law, correct? So his chalitza is what? Is a bona fide chalitza? It terminates the relationship. Nafli idoch. Now when the third one falls, this is a sister of each one who each one gave chalitza to. So what is that? That's achos chalutza also. If so, the mifka zikoso cholatz lahai. Mifka zikoso, excuse me. Yeah. Nafla idoch cholatz lo. Rega. Shimon nafla idoch cholatz lo. Hai mifka. Which who's going to terminate the chalitza, the zika, right? Chotzel hai mifka zikoso. So who are we quoting here? We're quoting Rav Yehuda Omer Rav, right? We're quoting Rav Yehuda Omer Rav or Rabba Bar. There's the name of Rav. So all this is the way we're explaining now. If you're zika, so therefore it's called achos chalutzoso, because it's like the woman was married to you, right? But Marav ain't zika. Marav, if you don't eat zika, so what's the problem? There's no such thing as zika psula. Rabbinically, there's no deficient zika, no deficient chalitza, right? The chalitza is a bona fide chalitza. Smara says, "Livri Omer yesh zika." Rav only said that according to the opinion who holds yesh zika. He personally holds each one gives chalitza even to the third one. You give chalitza just one gives chalitza. But he's saying according to the opinion which holds yesh zika, which Rashi says it's a machlokas in the second parak between Rabbi Yehuda and the Chachomim. Whether yesh zika or ain't zika, according to that opinion, the third wife would need chalitza from both. Rashi says, see over here. Yeah. He says over here, V'amarav in zika perak ketzad, Amarav fun amarav shomer sheyovin shemeiso, mutabimo. It's not considered chamoso, right? He can marry the mother, but if you had zika, it should be considered chamoso. But it's, so you see, Rav holds ain't zika. Okay, so that's Rav. Ushmuel Omar. Shmuel says echod choletz lekulan. One gives chalitza to all of them, meaning there's no such thing as chalitza psula. Means he holds evidently it's ein zika, right? Shmuel lama echod choletz lekulan. Michli shamin li Shmuel dama chalitza ma'al yabinon. Shmuel says you need a good chalitza. Dama Shmuel cholatz la'achios. Now here's the problem. Someone asks, you need a bona fide chalitza. So how could Rab say, over here we have achad chalutza also, you need a strong chalitza. We'll see in a moment. What does this mean? Shmuel says, cholatz la'achios. Let's say you have two sisters falling to you. So what if we have two sisters are connected to one brother. Two brothers died, they're married to a sister, they fall to a third brother. So it says, if you give chalitza to the sisters, cholatz la'achios, lo nifru tzaros. Each sister has a co-wife, right? From the two brothers. You give chalitza to the sister, you don't, the co-wife cannot remarry. This is all rabbinical. This is rabbinical. Why? That since the two sisters are connected to you, and you're giving chalitza to what? To the sister.
And there's no possibility.
Well, and you can't do yibum. Even though you can't do yibum to the tzara either, because it's a tzara serva. That we'll see that doesn't make a difference. So if you give chalitza to the achios, lo niftu tzaros. Somewhere says like this. Let's see Rashi. And each one has a co-wife. Why? Since if he wants to do yibum to any one of the sisters, he cannot. Why? Because it's achos. It's what is both of them are connected, right? So what do? You give chalitza to each one of the co-wives. Now the sisters can now marry off. Now Rashi addresses the tzoros nami aviboy lo havi miyabim, right? But still, rabbinically, you can't do even on the tzoros either, right? So why we say to give the achios, since you can't do yibum, therefore it's a deficient chalitza. But the tzora, she's a tzora's erva. She's a tzora of the achios. That's Rashi's question. Miu kal isura mishal achios. But since facts, with all dealing on a rabbinical level, since they are not the source of the problem, therefore we see it as not as serious. Hilkoch av chalitzosim shubochois mishal achios ochim b'horshel kaman. As the Gemara will explain. So we see that chalitza as a bona fide chalitza, it terminates the connection, therefore the sisters can marry off. But the sisters, where they are the source of the problem, they're giving chalitza, then that's a deficient chalitza. A deficient chalitza does not release the tzara. Okay? That's Shmuel. So now we have a problem by us. How could Shmuel say that it's abayachos chalutzoso? The same person give chalitza to every one of them. It's a division chalitza, right? That's the Gemara's question, right? So Gemara says, there you go. So Gemara says like, Heichad kaim chalitza the Shimon, chalitza kishero, where Heichad the kaim chalitza the Shimon, chalitza kishero, cholitz la Ruven, chalitza psula. He said, we're talking about Yeva for Shimon, let's say, is the first one who gives chalitza. Right? His chalitza is a chalitza kshera, because it's not achos chalutzoso. Right? When Ruvain gives the chalitza, it's chalitza psula. Right? So he's saying, when he said before, one brother, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that. That Ruvain could give chalitza, because there's no chalutza yet. Shimon, right? Heichod the kaima chalitza de Shimon. What's that? Lachlotz the shni shul the cholatz the rishona. Shimon didn't give chalitza to the first one, right? Heichod the cholatz la Ruvain chalitza. Excuse me. Heichod the kaima chalitza de Shimon chalitza kshero. And now Shimon's chalitza. Why is it better? Because it's not achos chalutzoso. It's not achos chalutzoso. What about cholotz la Ruvain? Chalitza psula. Wait. So let's say Ruvain, we have a third wife here. He wants to do it. It's chalitza psula. Why? Because it's achos chalutzoso. Because he already did chalitza. So the Gemara asks, but if that's the case, my echad chalitz lekulan. Nami de komar. It says one could do chalitza to all of them. What does it mean? One could do it to all of them. I'm tzois. Hashlish is la'achas shecholat Shimon l'shnei shi al shneien achos chalutza u'shneim shovin bo v'ksov chalitza psula ein tzricha lachzer al kol ha'achin. Here, is that a chalitza psula? Even though it's deficient, you don't have to. I mean, for Shimon, if Reuven already did chalitza, he can't give to the next one. Shimon, right? But when it comes to the last one, he could do it. Somewhere says v'kulan kamar. He says, but we said kulan. It says one does it to all of them. So he answers, came the Reuben gabi korli kulan. Shimon that gives chalitza by himself the Yevamos he gave. So that's Rov Ruba Kakula. See, since he already gave chalitza to the majority of them, that's called kulan. That's the equivalent of all of them. Here, even though it meant two, the first one and the last one, on the third one. Right? You know what's bothering him? We say he can't do the second because it's a chalitza grua. Because it's achot chulutzoso. And when you come to the third one, it's also achot chulutzoso. No, it says if Ruvain if Ruvain did the first one, who does the second one? Shimon does the second one. Why can't Ruvain do the second one? Because it's achot chulutzoso. And when he comes to the third one, why is it achot chulutzoso? Why? What's the second and the third? So you have to say, since you have a person who's not connected, it's better he should do it than Reuven should do it. That's what you have to say. Right. So it's not because. No, Shimon did the second one already. So they're both achos chalutza. So the third one, so whichever one does, it's not a problem. So we have to say now it's. No, so you have to say, this dochik that we're saying now, that if you could have somebody who's disconnected, if you have somebody who never was involved, it's not called achalus chalutza, so he does it, right? His chalitza is a better chalitza than the first brother, because the first brother, it's going to be achalus chalutza also. But when I come to the third one, they're both achalus chalutza also. So now it's not a question a bona fide chalitza versus a deficient chalitza. And he holds that a chalutza grua is called the chalitza. That's on the second one. Okay? Ibo same, another interpretation. So it's a dochik. So when it says kulon, it doesn't mean every one of them, but rather it means the majority. It means the majority. Ibo same kikom shmul chalitza ma'al yabina. No, hear this? Shmuel says, when do you need a bona fide chalitza? Hanimili lemifta tzaroso. If you want to let the tzara go free, avol miftra nafsha potra. Hanimili miftra tzaroso. Avol miftra nafsha potra. Meaning, right. Meaning, if you a deficient. This is all rabbinical. A deficient chalitza would release the woman who receives it. Right. Receives it. So where's a deficient chalitza? To the sister. Right. The sister could get married. Right. But because it's deficient, rabbinically, we don't want the tzara to get married. Right. But if the tzara receives it, then the what's his name? Then the sisters could leave. Because since, as Rashi said, because since the tzara is not the source of the problem, rabbinically we say that even releases the sister. Right? Gufa, what did Shmuel say? Omer Shmuel cholatz la'achios. Shmuel says, if when you give chalitza to the sisters, lo niftru tzoros. The tzoros cannot get married. Tzoros, if you give chalitza to the tzoros, to the co-wives, niftru achios. Chutz lebalas haget. Excuse me. Cholatz lebalas haget. Let's say you have here. You have the same scenario. Two brothers die, three brothers they leave widows, and they have no children. Rather than giving chalitza, one brother decides he gives a get. A get is not sufficient. A get will not allow her to remarry. But a get rabbinically, we see her. It's like a semi-detachment, right? So it's not on a Torah level. It's nothing. No, he gave a get rabbinically, but it appears as if he already chipped away at it. Right? We'll see. That's poshut. If he gave a get to one of them, the co-wife is not free to go. The only time a co-wife is free to go if she receives chalitza. No, she's also not free. She's not free. Also not free. Right. It's poshut. The man made a mistake. He made a mistake. No, they're both Yevamas. A get has no value for a Yevama. It has no value. L'tzora, 1 second. The Gemara is going to discuss this. L'tzora, if he gave the get to the tzora, niftres, but he gave chalitza to the tzora, cholatz labalas, if he gave chalitza to balas haget, which the woman herself is viewed as partially detached, that means this chalitza is not a normal chalitza. Therefore, the normal chalitza will not free the co-wife. What about he gives the chalitza to the one who's fully attached, not the one who received the get? Then the balas get goes, because for the one who the tzara, the way this woman never received chalitza, never received the get, so the connection is firm. The chalitza severs it. Once she's cut, the other one goes. Okay. Cholatz lebalas get lo niftzara letzora niftra balas get. Cholatz lebalas ma'im. Now, new case. He did kedushin to one of them. Yeah. He married one of them, which is not sufficient for Yibum. He's supposed to do Yibum. He gave her a ring in the presence of witnesses. So this is a rabbinical marriage, right? Because the only way you can marry, she could become your wife, it's only through cohabitation. So instead of that, he gave her a ring. Right? His friend convinced him, in the jewelry business, use a ring, okay? So he gave chalitza to the what? Lebalas HaMaimer. To the one who he married, who he did kedushin to. Lo niftra tzaroso. Because again, since this is an abnormal case, it's an abnormal because she's his wife. I mean, he did an act of kedushin. Chalitza has no relevance to a wife. It should be a get. Right? So since we see the chalitza being not applied properly, it doesn't free the tzara. But the one who receives it is freed. tzora, right? Litzora. What if he gives the chalitz to the tzora of the one who he had married? He never cohabited with her. Niftra balas again maimer. Now the one who received the kedushin, she's cut loose, because to the tzora, there was nothing done. The zika is in place. So Mara says, "Ma'ishno la'achios lo nifru tzoros." He says, why when you give the chalitza to the sisters, we don't free the tzora, right? The Havia law, why? Achos isha b'zika. The answer is because they're connected through zika. Because it's like achos ishto. So therefore, we don't see the chalitza as a proper chalitza. So chalitza tzoros nami lo lifru achios tabli tzoros achos isha b'zika. Same thing. What's the reason why the tzora? Why can't you do yibum on the tzora? Because why did the tzora of two sisters? So just as you see, because you can't do yibum. When you can't do yibum, you see it as a deficient chalitza. So if that's the case, the tzora is no different than the sister. So why, when you give the chalitza to the sister, why does it free the sister? Why do we differentiate between giving chalitza to the sister or giving chalitza to the tzara? So now the Gemara is going to say what Rashi said. So Gemara says, "Ksav Shmuel ein zika." He doesn't know the zika. 1 second. V'amar Shmuel yesh zika. Shmuel said there yesh zika. Gemara said, "Divrei Omer ein zika comment." This, what he's saying now, is going according to the opinion of ein zika. Since it's a machlokes tanoim, in truth, if he personally holds giving chalitza to one does not free the other, either one, to the tzara or to the sister. But that he says when you give to the other, not to the sister, that's holding. He's going according to the opinion he holds ein zika. But he personally holds yesh zika. So according to him, you have to give chalitza to either one of them. One does not free the other, because the tzara has the same status as the sister. Has the chalitza according to his personal opinion. That he says that when you give to the tzara, you free the sister. That's going according to the opinion holds ein zika. So Mar says, "Yihochi." So he says, if you hold ein zika, cholatz la'achiyos hamaylo niftu tzoros. Right. So when you give chalitza to the sister, we don't see him as you're married to two sisters. So if that's the case, why do I differentiate between the sister and the tzara? Yeah. If you hold zika, it makes sense. It's like you're married to two sisters. That's like a bona fide. That's like being married to two sisters. But if you hold ein zika, it's not. I'm not married to two sisters. So give chalitza. So why giving chalitza to the sister doesn't free the tzara? Bishlam tzara the Rochel sipoter. The tzara, the co-wife of Rochel, which is the second wife, the second sister. I understand. Came the chalitza Leah. Since he first gave chalitza to Leah, v'od the chalitza Rochel, have the chalitza the Rochel chalitza psula. Why? It's achos chalutzoso. It's the sister of the one he already gave chalitza to. Correct? El tzara the Leah tipoter. But the first chalitza he gave to Leah, which is the first sister, why doesn't she free the tzara? So Mar says, "My lod nifru tzoros nami de kamar atzara de rochel." No, we're saying now when Shmuel says it doesn't free the tzara, it's not speaking about the first time he did it. It's the second couple. So Mar says, "Aiva tzoros kamar." It says it doesn't free the plural, the co-wives. On that he says tzoros dalma. When he says tzoros, doesn't mean the co-wives here. It means co-wives in general. But factually, when he gives chalitza to Leah, the first one, it frees her co-wife. When he comes to the second couple, he has to give chalitza to the tzara to free the sister, but the sister will not free. Okay? So Mar says, "Hihochi." Hihochi says, if that's the case, cholatz l'tzoros nifru achios. If so, why when you give chalitza to the tzara, do you free the yes? Same old question. Vatzor de rochel mi miftra. V'otnan also odem b'tzoras krovis chalutzoso. Right? You're not permitted. She's the tzora of the relative of the chalutza, right? Because the sister is warachas chalutza. Shmuel nam hischul lo hischul kama. What does that mean? Hischul ba'achios lo yigme b'tzoros. 1 second. Rega. Hischel shecholatz Leah lo yigme b'tzoros lo potra chalitza tzora de rochel es rochel. Hischel ba'achios. If he starts giving chalitza to Leah, then he can't give to the tzara either. That's of the other one. Yeah, this. You have Leah and her co-wife. You have Rochel and her co-wife. If he starts giving chalitza to Leah, so immediately the second couple, the sister is achos chalutzaso, and the co-wife is the same equivalent of achos chalutzaso. But let's say the first couple he gave to the tzora. Wait, to the tzora. So when he gave to the tzora, we don't see the sister as achos chalutzaso. So then when you give to the second tzora, you free the sister. But if you gave to the sister first, so then the second couple I see as achos chalutzaso. Then they both need chalitza. Right? Then they'll both need chalitza. Okay, let's read inside. Somewhere says, Rega. If he first gave chalitza to Leah, the second couple cannot get, what's his name? Cannot get chalitza. Individually. They both need chalitza. Did not also Adam B'tzoros Krovis Chalot. Hischul B'tzoros. But if he, let's say he gave to the tzara of Leah, Yigmar Afbachios, he could even give chalitza to the sister now. Okay? Did not Muta Adam B'krovas Tzoras Chalutzoso. Ravashi Omar. Ravashi answers simple. This whole idea of Yezik, it's all rabbinical. So he says like this: even though we see her as a tzoras erva, right? He can't do yibum to either. But who's the source of the problem? The source of the problem is the sister. She's the one who causes it. So therefore, even if you hold Yezika, when is it achos chalutzoso? That's only if you go to the sister. But the tzora, we don't see it like a regular tzoras erva. That it's one and the same. That's what he answers. Ravashim lo'olam kedamrit. Pshum lo alima zika l'shavi l'tzora ke'erva. Rabbinically, when do we see it as achos chalutzoso? You give chalitza to the first sister, you can't give chalitza to the second sister. But if you give chalitza to the first sister, right, and then you want to give chalitza to the tzora of the second sister, it's not a problem. It's going to free the second sister. But if you give chalitza to the sister herself, which is the source of the problem, then it will not free the tzora. Okay? Poshit. Tanya Kavosid Ravashi. We have a brisa that supports Ravashi's interpretation. Cholatz lachios lo niftu tzoros. When you give chalitza to the sisters themselves, you will not free the tzoros. Hold the tzoros, but it seems to be tzoros. Niftu achios. Aye, but it's a tzoros erva, rabbinically. So evidently, what do you say? My time, lav mishum, evidently mishum t'ksav, yesh zika. Even though there's zika, v'lo alima zika l'shavi l'tzara erva. But it's not sufficiently strong. It is on a rabbinical level that I see the co-wife as the sister herself. Therefore, if you want to give chalitza to the co-wife, it's considered a bona fide chalitza. It frees the sister who's achos chalutza also. Okay? Omer Rababa Bar Momol Homani Beishami. When we quoted over here, the Mishnah that says that if you give chalitza to the tzara, she's permitted. It's going like Beishamai. Why? Did not Beishamai matirin hatzoras lachin. Beishamai doesn't hold that whole concept. We had this before of tzoras erva, right? Beishamai holds that tzoras erva is not a problem. A co-wife, if you have a co-wife of an erva, the co-wife falls to yibum, right? That's Beishamai. We rule like Beisila, right? Wait a second. So yivuminami tziyabim. If you're attributing before when it says you give chalitza to the co-wife, right? You give chalitza to the co-wife. If it's going like Bishamai, you're permitted to do yibum. So why does it only speak about chalitza? Right? The sister, it's poshut, right? Because that's understood. But the co-wife, why does it say only give chalitza to yibum? It says you do yibum to the co-wife, the sister goes. Somewhere says, Rabbi Yochanan Nuri. As Rabbi Yochanan Nuri had said earlier, what did Rabbi Yochanan Nuri say? He said earlier in the first parak, Vo niskan lam l'tzara sheyicholz lo misyabmos. Remember, we had a problem with Beisham Beisila. According to Beishamai, tzaras erva is a kosher. The children of a tzaras erva is not a mamzer. According to Beishamai, Beisila, you marry a tzaras erva, it's a mamzer. So something you're really creating problems. According to Beishamai, they're legitimate. According to Beisila, you can't intermarry one another. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai came up with an idea. You know what we should do? Since factually, if you give chalitza, you also fulfill the mitzvah to make that there shouldn't be a separation among Jewish communities, that everybody's considered kosher. Give chalitza. If you give chalitza, the woman's free to marry, Even according to Beis Shammai, did you say she's bound? Give chalitza. You give chalitza, there's not going to be any legitimacy according to Beis Hillel, and everything is fine and dandy. Yeah, even according to Beis Shammai, that we should make a special takana. Everybody should have chalitz like this. You're satisfying Beis Shammai. And by you satisfying Beis Shammai, you satisfy Beis Hillel because you're not going to have mamzerim. Right? You're not going to have a legitimacy. So therefore, that's the reason why it says before chalitza. Samar says, but we said earlier, Samar says, it says earlier, they tried to institute what Rabbi Yochanan suggested. It never happened. Because there was too much of a tumult, it never happened. So if that's the case, it never happened. So how can you say the Bryce before it says chalitza? It's going to be Shammai. Going to be Shammai, you should do yibum. And that's at that moment, they weren't able to institute it. But factually, eventually, they did institute it. So even Beis Shammai agrees, for the sake of shalom and to not create problems within Klal Yisrael, even Beis Shammai holds you do chalitza and not yibum. Even with the tzara, the sister for sure not. Right? She's the erva. Right? What? No, it's not edges. No, here it's not going to be edges. It's not. He's just saying it happened, even though from the Gemara before it seems it didn't. He says it did happen.
So we don't know where it could go.
No, not that it happened. He's saying this brisa that we're quoting, that's Beis Shammai. Okay, iboilu. A question is being posed. Iboilu. We discussed you have a yavoma rather than giving a chalitza. The surviving brother gives her a get, which is not sufficient. Not sufficient. He needs chalitza. We have balas aget u balas maimer. You have two. What's his name? Two sisters fall, or two. One he gives a get to, one he marries, kedushin, which is not yibum. Okay? No. Listen what happens. A brother dies, he leaves over two wives. One wife, he gives a get, which is meaningless on a Torah level. But rabbinically, it looks like something happened. And the other one, he gives kedushin to. Okay? Eizmen kodemis. 1 second. Now, which one does he give chalitza to? He gave one a get, and he did one kedushin. Neither is sufficient. Neither means anything. But rabbinically, one is semi-separated, rabbinically, correct? And the other one's set by marriage. So the one with kedushin is closer to yibum, right? He took her as a partial wife. And the one who he gave the get to, he started to chop away at the root to separate her. So one is closer to chalitza, and one is closer to kedushin. So it's closer to what? It's closer to yibum. So which one does he give chalitza to? To the one that he gave the get to, or the one that he gave the mimer to? Okay? Ezemen kodemes. Balas a get adifo mishum da aschuba b'chalitza. Because since he gave aschuba, it's similar to chalitza. So therefore, he already started the chalitza process. O dilma balas mimer adifo mishum da krova labia. Since she's a woman who needs yibum, she's closer to bia. She's the one you should give what? You should give chalitza to. See, rabbinically, he can't marry, he can't do yibum on either. Because if he wouldn't have given a get to any of them, he would have done yibum on the balas maimer. There's no problem. Right? The one he did kedushin, so just take it the next step, do yibum. But because since he gave a get to one of them, so that means he did a semech chalitza. So rabbinically, we're not going to let him to do yibum on the other one, the one that needs kedushin. So now he needs chalitza. Which one is the choicest of the two? A or B? That's the discussion here. Omer Avashi. So Rashi brings a proof from Tashma. Omoder Rabbi Gamliel. Rabbi Gamliel says Rabbi Gamliel agrees. Sheish gerach ha-maimer. That you give a get after the maimer. Maimer ach a get. 1 second. Ein gerach a get. Modu sheish get ach ha-maimer. Beis Yevamos me'achech. V'osem maimer b'zu v'achach nosen get lezu. Mani get lifsol harishona olov mishum yibone. The krovas shniya rishona v'lo aminon 1 second. A person dies, he leaves two widows. He gives one mimer and one he gives a get. Okay? So Ramliel says, and then he does ma'akach nos and get lezu. So we said when he gives get to the other one, it interferes with the first one that he did mimer with. Yeah? Right? Liasa bekrova shidiyo kibrishano v'larmina and mimer kinisa udachoy shiny shniya minei v'lo mahani get. Hear this. If he did mimer first, so if he did mimer first, that means the second co-wife has no relevance any longer to yibum, correct? So if that's the get that he gave her, even rabbinically, maybe we should ignore. It's meaningless. I'll give you an example. Let's say the first brother. Let's say he did yibum to the first wife, and then subsequently he would give a get to the second wife. What does it mean? It's meaningless because the first wife's his wife already, full wife. Here rabbinically he did mimer to the first one. Now he gives get to the second one. So if we would look as kedushin as the equivalent rabbinically as yibum, so when he gave to get to the second, which should mean nothing. Rabbi Leo says no. It means something, so therefore it's like he's involved with two of the widows. You can't be involved with two, only with one. So we're saying. So he says, he holds that the get, even though you did the mimer first, the get interferes with the marriage, with the mimer. Get. And also, a person gave a get. And then he did mimer. Im nosen get rishon v'akochas mimer b'tzora lo amina get kamo b'mokum chalitza koi. V'sulo koni mimer yevomin b'tzora elevadi mani utzricha get l'maimoro. Which means, what does that mean? Let's say he gave first. He gave a get first, then he did mimer afterwards. You'd say, you know something? Rabbinically, maybe we shouldn't recognize the mimer. You know why? You shouldn't recognize the mimer because since you already gave it a get to the first, the second one's off limits. So we shouldn't recognize the marriage even on a rabbinic level. He says, no. You recognize it, he needs a get. He has to give a get to the second one also. You hear what he's saying? Remember he was saying something. Well, this is all on rabbinic level. If you have mimer, let's say he instead of doing yibum to widow A, he gives a ring in front of two witnesses. So you would say, if you recognize the marriage rabbinically, when he gives the get to the second one, it should be meaningless. It should be meaningless, right? But Rabbi Lil says no. Since factually the marriage is not a marriage to the first one, the second get indicates something to the second one, therefore the first one can't do yibum any longer. Although we already did kedushin. What about he gives get to the first one? He gives a get to the first one. And he does a mimer to the second one. So he'd say, if you're ready, he severed the relationship rabbinically to the first one. The second one should what? Should need a get. He says, no, you still have to give a get. You have to give a get to the second one. Rabbinically. This is all rabbinical. Okay? The mimer is recognized, and therefore you need a get on the second mimer. Get odif. Right? If get, we see as what? It's close to, it's the equivalent almost of chalitza. Lo lahani mimer basri. So what does he say? When you do mimer after get, the second mimer needs a get. So we value the mimer. The mimer odif, and if mimer would be considered closer to yibum, lo lahani get abasri. So what do you need a get? Right? So the get that he gives to the second woman should be meaningless. Right? It should be a meaningless act. You see what? They're equivalent. That if one is equivalent of the other, and therefore, what do? They're both. So what do you have? So what do you do? If you hold chalitza psula, you have to give both of them. And if your chalitza is not psula, then you give one of them, whichever one you choose. Right? No, so he says. Tosis, like I said. So according to Shmuel, whichever one you want, because he holds chalitza, Shmuel holds chalitza psula is valid. See, whichever one you choose, give whichever one you choose, let him go. 1 second. Okay. Omer Afuna. Omer Rav. Okay. Not so complicated so far, right? No, it's very simple. Let me just review. It'll take 2 seconds again. Reuven dies, leaves 2 widows. Okay? He's supposed to do Yibum or Chalitza, one or the other. He doesn't do that. Let's say he does Maimer, which is Kedushin to the first one. Rabbinic, really, on a Torah level, it's nothing. It's like he did nothing. To the Yevama. Torah says you're supposed to cohabit with her, not give her a ring. Yeah, Maimer's giving her the ring. Maimer means words. He said words. No, Maimer means he gave her a ring. He said, Harebu Kadeshusli. That's Maimer. Has no relevance, has no value, Torah says the only way she becomes your wife, you have to cohabit. Okay? Instead of that, he gave her a ring, he says, Harebu Kadeshusli. So it's a rabbinical marriage. Okay? So it's a rabbinical marriage. So we say, something, it's not sufficient, but she needs a get on that. She needs a get. So if we say she needs a get, what does that mean? Rabbinically, we recognize that he's fully locked into the first one. Let's say before he does Yibum, he goes on her, he gives a get to the second one. To sever the connection, because on a Torah level, they're connected to the second one. So Rabbi Leal says, he can't do Yibum on the first one any longer. If he would have done nothing to the second one, so Kedushin, so does Yibum. But since he gave a get to the second one, that he indicated that he's connected, it's like he gave Chalitza, rabbinically Chalitza to the second one. So the second act doesn't allow the first act to go to the next step. Okay? That's get achamaimer. What about he gives, the first one he gives a get? That means, what did he do? He indicated he severed the relationship. So the moment you sever the relationship, if you sever the relationship, that means the second one, rabbinically, is not attached to you any longer. So if it's not attached to you, let's see now he does Kedushin to the second one. Didn't do Kedushin. Didn't do Biyah. He didn't do Biyah the first one. So you'd say to get to the Maimah to the second one should be meaningless. Because he did get on the first, then afterwards. Wait, no. Rabbinically, he still needs Chalitza. He still has to give the first one Chalitza. Because it's only rabbinical. Right? But if we see it that he's detached from her, rabbinically, and the second one does mime, which is only a rabbinical marriage at best. Wait, no. Does the second one need a get? Does the second one need a get? Rabbi Lewis says the second one also needs a get. Right? No, but you say since the Kedushin already. Let's say he would have married the first one. He would have done Yibum on the first one. And then he would do Kedushin to the second one. Would he need to get on the second one? No. She's not permitted to marry the second one. Because he did Yibum first. You can only do Yibum on one widow. You can't marry both widows. It's incest. The second widow is an incestuous relationship. It's not achasisha. No, it's ba'isechad yivnei lo shnei batim. He's only permitted to do Yibum only on one of the widows, not every widow. So let's say he did Yibum widow A, and he does Kedushin to widow B. Does she need a get? She needs nothing. Because right? She's a sister-in-law where he's not permitted to marry. It's an incestuous relationship. It's nothing. No, if the Gemara's not talking about the case I just said. He goes Yibum on the first wife, the second wife. He goes and afterwards he gives her a ring in presence of witnesses. I know. So I mean, if he did it, does he have to give her a get after that? The answer is no. Of course not. It was not a marriage. Right? It's a forbidden relationship. You don't need to get. Yet Rabbi Leo says like this. He gives a get to the first one. He gives a get to the first widow. No, Kedushin. Didn't give her a get. Instead of giving a chalitza, he gives her a get. So that means, rabbinically, we recognize it. When you give a get, you can no longer do Yibum. Rabbinically. Because we see get as what? A semi-chalitza. Okay? When you engage with one woman, the second woman, now, you're not involved with her any longer. The second widow. So if you're not involved with the second widow, now let's you do Kedushin to her, to the second widow. Which at best would only be a rabbinical marriage. Should you recognize that marriage rabbinically? What would you say? No. He gave her a get. Which is not sufficient, because she needs chalitza. But he gave a get. Rabbinically, you recognize her as if he locked that one in. He's not permitted to marry yet, but he did Kedushin on the second one. Rabbi Leo says she still needs... No, on a Torah level, it's meaning, but we're saying rabbinically. But you would say, rationally speaking, if you play it out, same line of reasoning, she should not need a get. But you do. So he's being machmer on both sides of the coin. Both sides. That's Rabbi Gamliel. Okay. So he's showing why, because they both carry the same weight. If one has greater weight than the other, once he does one, the other one you shouldn't do something else. He says from there we confirm that they have equal standing. So one is not better than the other, and that's why he has to give a get on the second one, and he can't do yibum on the first one. Okay, new case. We have about 3 minutes. Omer Afuna, Beis. Omer Afuna, Beis. Omer Rav. Omer Rav Yudah Omer Rav. His gear says Omer Rav Yudah Omer Rav. Omer Rav Yudah Omer Rav. Beis Achios Yevamos. 2 sisters, they're married to 2 brothers. Both brothers die. Shnaf lifnei Yovam Echod. You hear this? 2 sisters fall to 1 brother. Cholatz Rishona, Hutra. She's permitted to remarry. Correct? Cholatz Lishniyo, Hutra. He gets chalitza to the second sister, she's also permitted. Mesa Rishona. So we're speaking of, if both sisters are alive, he gives chalitza to one, he has to give chalitza to the other, they both marry off. What happens in Mesa Rishona? The first one dies. Right? The first sister dies. Now, you hear what's going on over here? He gave her chalitza, and then she died. Rega. Muta b'shniya. He could marry the second one. No. Muta b'shniya means for yibum. He could do yibum to the second one. Right. Even though when she was a widow, even though when she became widow, he was not permitted to do yibum. Right. We have a principle that if she's not permitted at the time, it's gone. I'll give you an example. Let's say a man is married to a woman, and his brother's married to the sister of his wife. His brother dies, right? His brother dies. Does the sister-in-law fall to Yibum to him? No, because it's his wife's sister. What subsequently, his own wife dies. Could he do Yibum afterwards to the sister-in-law? Reuven and Shimon are married to Rachel and Leah, 2 sisters. Shimon dies, so Rachel falls to Reuven. Is the Yibum? No, because he's married to Leah. It's her sister. What happens subsequently? Reuven's wife dies, who's the sister. So now the law of Achos Isha doesn't apply, because you're not permitted to marry a wife's sister only as long as she's alive, your wife. But if the wife's no longer alive, he's allowed to marry the sister. Does he do Yibum now? No. Because since when the brother died, his wife was alive, and at that moment she was classified as what? As Eshes Ach. So the problem is she's the wife of his brother. It was a wife of a brother was not permitted. It has to be permitted at the time of death. So since there was something interfering, because it's Achos Ishto, so therefore it's never permitted. So even though subsequently she becomes available, it's gone. He's never permitted to marry her. If his wife would have died first, and then subsequently his brother dies, then there's Yibum. Because when the sister-in-law falls to him, she's no longer the sister of his wife, because his wife's passed away. Right? So it has to be permitted at the time of the death. If it's not at the time of death, even though later it presents itself permitted, it's gone. So now we have a problem over here, right? So we're saying over here, he says, Chalatz Rishona Hutra. She's permitted to read. Chalatz Lishni Hutra. Mesa Rishona, the first one dies. The first Yevama dies. Muta B'shniya. He's permitted to do Yibum on the second one. 1 second. If you hold Yesh Zika, what is this? This is Achos Zekukoso. Correct? It's the sister of they're both bound to him. So it says if the first one dies, both brothers died already. He's permitted in the second one. And definitely if the second one dies, Shemuta Brishona. Why? The first one. Let's say the first brother dies, right? The first one dies, we're talking the third brother, he's definitely permitted to marry her, correct? So that one, Shuhutra V'nesher V'choshev Hutra. So Tachsel Heter Rishon. She's reinstated to the first state. Right? Rabbi Yochanan Amar Mesa Shniya Muta Brishona. If the second one dies, he's permitted first. Ava Mesa Rishona Osa B'Shniya. But if the first one dies, he's not permitted to say. Why? If at the time of the death he's not able to perform yibum, it's like a woman who became a widow and she has children. Because what was the classification at the time of death? That he can't marry. Even though later it presents itself, it's gone. A woman dies, husband dies, they have children. Subsequently, the children die. Right? Could he marry? He's not permitted to marry her because at the time that her husband died, there were children. She was off limits. No, it's the same thing. Same thing. No. No, because here the problem is Eishes Ach Shlo B'Mokum Mitzvah. Achos Isha is not the problem. The problem is Eishes Ach. The Torah says you're permitted to marry Eishes Ach B'Mokum Mitzvah. What does Eishes Ach B'Mokum Mitzvah mean? At the time of death, there was a mitzvah to marry her. This woman at the time of death, was there a mitzvah to marry her? No. If it's the mitzvah is not in place at the time of death, then what's her classification? Eishes Ach Shlo B'Mokum Mitzvah. Once she's Eishes Ach B'Mokum Mitzvah, you're never permitted to marry her ever again. If a man's married to a woman and he has a brother-in-law married to a sister, and she has a sister, his wife dies, he can marry her. Because what was the issue? Achos Isha. Achos Isha is only if your wife is alive, not if she died. Here I'm dealing with two problems. Achos Isha and Eishes Ach. When does the Torah permit Eishes Ach? Only if you could do Yibum at the time of death. If you can't do Yibum at the time of death, what does the Torah say? Who is she? Eishes Ach Shlo B'Mokum Mitzvah. The cause is Achos Isha. But what's the prohibition besides Achos Isha? She's Eishes Ach Shlo B'Mokum Mitzvah. So even though later his wife may die, but factually, who do you want to marry? Eishes Ach. Eishes Ach you're not permitted to marry because Torah never permitted her to you. Right. Right. That's the story. Okay, gewaldig.